What's up, Storm fans? We have a spicy deck for you today. Thank you to Chris Thomas for this donation deck. The deck in front of you is called Entombsday. It is Tinfins combo plus Doomsday combo. Whenever you're expecting graveyard hate in post-board games, you sideboard into Doomsday. Otherwise, you stick as Tinfins. So your Tinfins in game number 1, Doomsday in the post-board games. That is the idea that is Entombsday. And if you're not familiar with what Tinfins is, it's essentially the idea of using Shallow Grave and Goryo's Vengeance to return Griselbrand to play, draw some cards, and then put Emrakul into play with the trigger on the stack from Entomb. So you'll Entomb for Emrakul. With the shuffle trigger on the stack, you'll cast another Shallow Grave, put it into play. The trigger will resolve, but the Emrakul will no longer be in the graveyard. So Tinfins, not a very descriptive deck name, if I'm being honest. The people that built the deck, or it's a reference to some C-Lab episode. I don't really care about the deck name. It's not important. But this deck is called Tinfins because of that. And it's really just Reanimator Storm. But the deck over the years cut the Storm card. It used to play Tundras of Agony. It doesn't anymore. Instead, you just Emrakul your opponent to death. That's the idea. Yeah. And I mean, Doomsday, we've played this deck a number of times here on the channel before. You should know what Doomsday is by now. It's one of the best decks in the format. Nothing new. Doomsday, some cyclers into Thassa's Oracle. That's the deck. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. I am not an Doomsday expert, but I will do my best to answer anything that comes in, I promise. Leaving a comment, pretty good anyway. Gets us into that YouTube algorithm, which I know you want to do. Come on, why wouldn't you do? That wasn't even English. All right, let's just chill and then start around. So if you want to support us, like, comment, subscribe, free things to do. Click the join button next to the subscribe button. That is for membership info. This donation deck from Chris Thomas was half off because Chris is a part of our Stormtrooper tier. So definitely go check that information out. And you could have half off donation decks just like Chris. Yeah, there's tons of other stuff in there too. So definitely check out our membership info. And then we have donation decks over at theepicstorm.com/shop, where, like Chris, you can submit your deck to be featured here on this very YouTube channel. Card singles, merchandise, token pack, words, things, shelling. That's my intro. Short and sweet. Let's Entombsday together. I'll see you in match number 1. Welcome to match number 1. We are on the draw. So this hand, upon immediately looking at it, you're like, oh my god, this hand's busted. There's no discard outlet. That said, we are on the draw, which means that we can just move to a draw step, discard Griselbrand, and then try to Dark Ritual Shallow Grave next turn. I don't know if this is a hand that a lot of Tinfins players would keep, but I'm doing it. We are keeping the draw discard plan. We could also just draw into Entomb or Thoughtseize in order to fix this as well. Okay, so it looks like we're against a Hate Bearer style deck. Green Sun Zenith. Into Arbor. Okay. Entomb or Thoughtseize. Let's go. Fetch land. Okay. I'm just going to go to discard like I said. Get rid of that Gristle. Okay. Do you have the Hate Bear? Interesting. Looks like they might be passing here. Okay. Draw. Island. Dark Ritual. And Goryo's Vengeance. So this only returns legendary creatures, so I want to use this because the Shallow Grave can be used to bring back Children of Corliss. Alright, does Goryo's Vengeance resolve opponent? Endurance. Yeah, welcome to 2021 Legacy, where endurance does happen to you. Yeah, I mean, it stinks, but it is what it is. Alright. I guess I could have waited till turn 2 and had double Shallow Grave, but main deck endurance wasn't something I was expecting. Okay, opponent still has 4 cards in hand. Green Sun for 2. Yep. You have a main deck Scavenging Ooze. There it is. I don't even know what I would want this to be, like maybe Brainstorm, and we drew a land. We're probably just dead here. I don't think we have any ways in the main deck of beating Scavenging Ooze. Yeah, I don't think we do. Do I want to concede here? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can't beat Ooze game one. Let's just make sure. Yeah, there's no out to Ooze. Well, that was delightful. All right, let's get rid of these reanimate spells. Get the out of here. Get rid of the gristles. Children. Bring in the Doomsdays and the Wraiths. Edge bottom. Probably want these cards. These cards seem okay. Alright, so that's 65. We need 5 cards to come out. Let's sort by mana value. Alright. There should probably be a deep analysis on the board, considering that there's Consider in the main deck. I didn't mean to say it like that, but it would just make sense if there's a deep analysis in the sideboard. Could probably get rid of this Chromox. I feel like there's something obvious that I'm supposed to board out. Entomb. There we go. It was looking me in the face. Alright. I want to make sure there's nothing else that I want to board out here. I mean, that looks pretty good to me. I probably don't need the Cavern against Maverick. So let's leave the Chromox in. Yeah, let's try this. Alright, on the play. Well, this hand is a piping hot piece of garbage mulligan. Alright, unfortunately we can't keep this either. Going to 5. Not a good way to start off this league, I will admit. I guess I keep this. Get rid of Street Wraith and a Brainstorm. I also wonder if I'm supposed to end step Brainstorm trying to hit Doomsday. Okay. Savannah and... You can have a Hierarch. Alright. Let's see if I can get lucky, hit Doomsday off this Brainstorm. Ooh! I think we have a win here. I even have days for endurance. Okay. Swamp, Dark Ritual. Doomsday. Okay, let's think about this. I could build... Alright. So, let's say I put Brainstorm on top. I would cycle into Brainstorm, sacrificing the Swamp, cast Brainstorm, draw 3, so I'd have 1 card. Let's do Oracle, Street Wraith, Lion's Eye Diamond, Brainstorm, I don't know. Petal. So I just want to think through this. So I'm going to cycle into Brainstorm, cast Brainstorm. What if I did another cycler instead of the Petal? Does that make... I don't think it makes any sort of meaningful difference. Because then I draw into Brainstorm, Brainstorm into 3 of these, so the bottom card doesn't actually matter that much. I think it might as well be a second blue source in case I mess up. If that's the case, why not do like a land? Sorry that I'm taking so long in this. I feel like I'm going to mess this up and I'm like trying to figure out how. Alright, so the bottom card doesn't matter. Okay, so let's cycle. Get rid of the swamp. Did I mess this up? I feel like I did. Yeah, I feel like I didn't do this correctly. Like, there was probably a way of beating endurance. Full control. Cycle, add 3 blue. I just feel like there's probably a way for me to beat endurance here that didn't involve, what is it called? Like, also, if there's a deep analysis, I could have set up a deep analysis pile with Pact in it. Or maybe I was supposed to do an ideas pile so that way I could have Pact. Yeah. I think I just punted this. Not good enough to play Doomsday. That's what it comes down to. I stink at Magic. 0 and 1. This deck is tough to play. Forgive me. Round number 2 coming up. Round number 2 against Koff J. They tend to play a lot of blue mid-range decks, like Bant, Zenith style stuff. So keep that in mind. We have double Shallow Grave Force. This hand's probably okay, but I don't love it. So I will say the thing about Entombsday is the idea is that you're supposed to dodge Graveyard Hate in game number 2. As you just saw, granted, I did misplay, so I'm not trying to pretend that didn't happen. But Endurance is good against both halves of this deck, meaning I don't know how good Entombsday actually is. Not trying to rain on anyone's parade, but just putting the idea out there. You might be wondering why I'm not casting Ponder. I want to keep Force Blue card up for the most part. I don't think we necessarily need to cast Ponder against the slow blue deck. We can kind of just like make our land drops into our thing. And if I draw into Entomb, I want the blue card immediately so that way I can protect my combo. Wasteland, okay. If I draw another blue card, I'm happy to cast Ponder, and there we go. I think we're supposed to cast Brainstorm, so that way I can maybe convert this Dark Ritual. Brainstorm. Well, I definitely don't want those. Okay. Pass the turn. And main phase Brainstorm. They might be looking for land number 3 here. Okay, and we want to fetch before we draw just because we don't want to draw Dark Ritual or Emrakul. Pretty free to pick up the Swamp here. Oh, Mox. Not an ideal draw. Guess this Ponder. So Brainstorm plus Fetch land is obviously nice, but we're drawing into these cards that we don't really need. So I think it's honestly just better to shuffle. Yikes. Alright, they're activating their Scalding Tarn. Rug. Okay. We don't know if they're a tempo deck or if they're mid-range deck, who knows. It could also just be like on a Rog pile. Ragavan. Okay. So maybe a little more tempo oriented. Who knows? Baracus. Okay. Weird deck so far. Pretty good against our legendary creature combo. I will say that. Entomb. That gosh darn Caracas. Dark Ritual. Fetching here. I kind of want them to waste me, so that way I can potentially daze to tap down the Caracas. A lot of players will like waste in these situations even though it doesn't make any sense. Force pitching Force. I will also Force. Get Gristle. Shallow Grave. Draw 7. Okay. Let's draw 7 again, going down to 2. From my understanding is there's a win here. Let's move to combat. They're most likely going to bounce the Griselbrand. I guess I could have used the Underground Sea first. Because they could... Okay, well they didn't. They could have theoretically shut me off of mana. Alright, I don't want to go to 2 yet. I'm sorry, I don't want to go to 1 yet because I want to be able to force. Dark Ritual. Alright, let's sacrifice this for a white. Children. Alright, and our opponents just conceded the game. Okay, so how we win here is what I was going to do at least. So what you do is you either Cabal Therapy yourself or you cast Entomb for another Griselbrand. You sacrifice the children, get Griselbrand back into play using this Goryo's Vengeance. You can also Shallow Grave back the children, eventually you gain so much life that you can actually loop through your deck by discarding Emrakul to Lion's Eye Diamond. So you just keep on doing it until you can eventually get enough mana to cast Emrakul and take another turn. That is the idea here. Yeah. All right, so Cavern of Souls. We're gonna try boarding back into Doomsday. See if I can suck less and do the thing. Okay. It was pretty disappointing the first time through. I feel like that game 2 loss in match number 1 was my own fault. I probably could have figured out a pile that had Ideas of Mountain Impact in it. I need one more card to come out. Should probably just be the Chromox. You might be thinking, like, how good is Emrakul and Shelldock in this matchup? Great question. I don't know. But it seems fairly free to keep in. We'll keep this. And our opponent's mulligan to 5. Okay, 2 cards on the bottom. Wasteland. Alright, well, you have a Soul Guy Lantern. I can't deny you that. That is something you do have. Okay, so this is the style of hate that Entombsday is actually like pretty good at beating because we just switched plans. Endurance, not so much. I'm gonna cast this Brainstorm, see if I can maybe fix this hand up a little. Do we have a win here? We've got to have a win. So, also like pretty upset that there's not a deep analysis in this deck. With all these considers, it makes things so easy. All right, so I think we want to hold the Underground Sea so it doesn't get hit by Wasteland until we're ready to cycle Edge of Autumn. Doomsday. All right, Doomsday is resolved. I wonder if there's just like a Brainstorm pile that wins without Diamond here. All right, so we definitely want Oracle. And hypothetically, I guess I can't do Cavern, but that doesn't really matter. I don't need the Cavern here, I don't think. So Petal, Brainstorm, and I guess Cavern can be the bottom card. Or maybe I need a Cycler. Alright, so just thinking this through. I would cycle Edge of Autumn, sacrificing the island. That puts me at 4 cards. Draw Street Wraith. Cycle that. That puts me to 3 cards. Cast Brainstorm into these 3. Put 2 back Oracle. That should work. Alright, so Petals can go on the bottom. Oracle. Hopefully I didn't mess this up. So this puts me down to 4 cards. All right, now I cast Brainstorm. And I have Petal, Oracle on deck. Oh, I can't force. So maybe... Am I supposed to wait? Do I just wait a turn? Yeah, I mean, I already put the Oracle back, but I think I'm supposed to wait instead of being greedy. There's probably a way of winning this turn with counter backup too. I'm just not good enough at casting Doomsday yet. And I also sacked the island like a real dummy. I could have just played the Underground Sea and sacked the sea immediately, and then had a basic land in play, so I don't lose to like days here. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna get punished here because I decided to wait a turn. I can just feel it in my bones. I just need more experience casting the card Doomsday, I think. Blue. Oracle. You get Pyroblast. Force your Pyro. Alright, we got it. So I guess they didn't have anything. 1-1. Match number 3, and we are on the play against Guts MTG. I think this hand's a mulligan, unfortunately. This hand doesn't do anything. We're going to 5. Alright. Delta go. Delta pass. Looks like our opponent kept their 7. Land grant. Are we getting belched? We are in fact getting belched. Alright, so I guess our mulliganing to 5 actually helped us a little bit. Because now this Jessica's Will isn't as good. Okay. From Mox, sure. So Jessica's Will makes 1 mana. Sure. Like, theoretically, I could have cast Dark Ritual there, and that would make it so they can't empty. But I just don't think that's really the right play here. You've got the goblins. Okay, so I don't think we're supposed to end step Brainstorm. We're supposed to just untap draw because that gives us another look at Entomb. Alright, cast this Brainstorm. Entomb, how lovely of you to join us. Alright. Dark Ritual. Entomb. Go get that Griselbrand. Battle. Goryo's Vengeance. Draw 7. Draw 7. Alright, and we hit the Emrakul. So what we can do here is the classic Tinfins thing of Dark Ritual. Alright, and now we can Cabal Therapy ourselves. Name Emrakul. And you want to make sure you hit the right one. We are the Aeon's Torn. Okay, so once our opponent clicks OK, this Emrakul is going to go to the graveyard. With the shuffle trigger on the stack, we're going to cast Goryo's Vengeance. Return Griselbrand. Or I'm sorry, return Emrakul. This is actually pretty similar to the modern deck that I used to see a lot of play when looting still existed. And now we move to combat. Nice goblin tokens. Get dead. Woot woot. We are the real Belcher. You are a fake Belcher. Get out of here. Alright. Game number 1 goes to the good guys. Do we want to switch it up? I don't think so. If anything, I think we just want to bring in these flusters. Yeah, honestly, I think that's it. Maybe get rid of this limp. I guess it's a blue card. I want Fluster, I just don't know what to board out. Limdills honestly seems a little stinky. I'm going to board that out. I'm also not convinced that you need Cabal Therapy. Like, I don't know what that card's actually doing for me. Yeah, let's try this. Game number 2 against Belcher. Opponent kept 7. I don't feel good about that. I'm going to mulligan. Keep. And bottom Brainstorm. Click done. Chancellor of the Annex. That is not very nice of you. How dare you, Chancellor May? So it looks like they're going to gamble for Lion's Eye Diamond. And then cast Echo. I guess they can play Tinderball first. Or they can decide not to play Tinderball. It's not an accident. They probably did this in order to increase the odds of them keeping. All right, and we're going to force this. I know that our opponent revealed Chancellor, but this is a free get rid of the Chancellor opportunity for me, so that's why I'm doing it. Okay. Lotus Petal. And another gamble. Also, if I had drawn into another Force of Will, the new Force of Will would be active. Tinderwall. And they're passing. Alright, so we would like to brainstorm into Entomb or draw Entomb here. If we had another petal that also does it, because we can brainstorm and then consider. Brainstorm? No hit. But we can put a Griselbrand on top and then try again next turn. Because we can consider one of these away. We just need the Fluster to keep us alive. From Mox. If they have a Lion's Eye Diamond, we're dead. Okay, no diamond. So we're going to draw Griselbrand. Mill Griselbrand. Click yes. Okay, that's pretty good. Dark Ritual. Shallow Grave. Draw. Draw. We're at 5. Okay. Chromox. Imprint. Ponder? We can brainstorm away the Emrakul now. Okay, we just hit all mana, which was perfect. Entomb. Emrakul. Cast Shallow Grave. And our opponent concedes. I am sorry, Belcher opponent. I didn't mean to out-combo you. I know you were just looking to have a good time. But we're 2-1 now. Match number 4 coming up. And hey, I didn't have to sweat over resolving Doomsday incorrectly this round. It was beautiful. Tinfins side got there, and I appreciate you. Whew. Round number 4. I am not sure how I feel about this hand, but Double Force makes me want to keep it. And then if we draw Brainstorm, I can consider away the Gristle. I think that this might be a low-end keep. The problem is that Griselbrand is actually like kind of like a mulligan in this deck, because you don't have anything like a Careful Study to dump it to the graveyard. You're really just relying on Entomb, which means that drawing it's pretty terrible. Island, okay. And main phase Brainstorm. I like it. You're not going to try to kill me, opponent? What a shame. Draw. Not really sure what our opponent's doing, but I kind of want this pedal in play. And they're just passing. What are you on? Alright, so I drew Therapy, which is kind of interesting because now if I draw a Shallow Grave, I can put Griselbrand into play. They're Doomsday. Okay. Draw. And I'm just going to pass here. I like having Double Force up. I don't like Duress. Not one bit. I'm going to let it resolve, though. I think forcing Duress is just, like, not a good move. Our opponent does get the information that we're on this, like, Tinfins-esque deck. But if I force Duress, that means I can't cast Ponder or Consider next turn. And I really want to do that so I can start doing my game plan. Alright, maybe I'll even consider on their end step here. Alright. Okay. And consider. Another nice thing about if this deck had Deep Analysis, you can Entomb for it for card advantage. Do not need a Lotus Petal. Draw. I'm going to try to name Doomsday here. Oops, all Dark Rituals. Alright, so they're on 2 pair. I think we just pass. Okay, and right now, their 2 beats mine because I don't have another blue card, and there we go. So now, assuming that they didn't draw running blue cards, we could win the Force War. Now they can hardcast Force of Will. Alright, so right now I'm looking at potentially discarding this Griselbrand to hand size. And that's still the best choice here. Yeah, I really wish there was a Deep Analysis in this main deck, because I would Entomb for Deep Analysis. I really would. They did not shuffle off Ponder. Opponent has 6 cards in hand. We know 2 of them are Dark Ritual, 2 of them are Force of Will. Alright, I'm gonna cast Consider here. I will keep Thoughtseize. Draw. Thoughtseize. Cycling Edge of Autumn. Aggressive, I like it. Sure. So they have Force, Dark Red, and one Unknown. I can't but feel like I'm supposed to counter this. I'm gonna let it go. I feel like it's almost a trap here. To get me to burn my valuable resources so then they can just get me later. I guess what I could do, and I didn't think of this until now, is play children and then sack into therapy to strip their forces. Alright, let's take the Thoughtseize. Children. I just thought of this, I'm sorry. You're probably watching in anger going like, flashback the therapy! Flashback the therapy! And I just haven't been doing it. Okay, so that wasn't terrible. They pitch deep, so they have Force, double Dark Ret. And then whatever 2 cards they hit on top. That's a Dark Ritual. That's another Dark Ritual. So this is probably a Doomsday, and I will Force pitch Force. And then they're going to hardcast Force, and I can daze their Force. Alright, so they're tapped out, and they've hardcast Force, and now I can just daze this. I can also just daze the Doomsday, but I want both of my spells to resolve. Alright. So they are hellbent. We are just trying to draw Shallow Grave. So there's another card that they know of on top of their deck, I believe. I don't know what could punish us here when they only have 2 mana, but I wonder if it's another Doomsday. Draw. Alright, so I can hardcast Force now if I need to. Okay, so not Doomsday apparently. Draw. And they're passing 2 cards in hand. Draw again. Yikes. They're up to 3 cards now. Can I get a Shallow Grave? No. I could start looking at the possibility of hardcasting Griselbrand soon. It costs 8 mana. I have 5 in play. Dark Ritual brings us up to 7. Chromox is 8. It's on the menu. We have 2 Griselbrands, 6 reanimate effects. Which will happen first? Alright, so Daze was an okay draw, but not good enough. It's up to 5 in hand now. Alright, we are not hardcasting Emrakul, so yikes. And we also can't discard it, or else the Griselbrand in our graveyard will get shuffled back in, and we don't want that to happen. Cycle Street Wraith, that's fine. Okay, 35 cards in deck, and we have 6 hits. Draw. Brainstorm's a good one. Let's cast it. We can get rid of this Emrakul and the Chromox. I just don't think the Mox is doing us any favors here. Thoughtseize. Come to think of it, I think I made a mistake right there. Man, it's pretty good. I think we just take the Force. Because I don't think I have another land to fetch with this Delta, so I probably should have kept like the Chromox or something. Because I'm pretty sure we just have Basic Island, and then that's the end of our lands. Alright, they do Preordain. Ponder. They did not shuffle off Ponder. Alright, so I am going to fetch with the Scalding Tarn. That was our last fetchable. Alright, we drew another copy of Force of Will. I think I just need to pass here. Dark Ritual. Or cast force. That happens, and now I'm going to force the Doomsday and hope that they can't pay for their pact. They drew another force. Wow, these draws, and they still have ideas in hand. I am dead. I have 2 in hand? Well, one of them is ideas in mind, that's all that matters. Yeah, they got me. You just drew dead. Okay. So a lot of these Doomsday decks are now playing Leyline in the board, so I think we actually want to board into Doomsday. Get rid of this package, the Tinfins package. Therapy, Chromox, Goryos, 63 at the moment. What am I forgetting? Shallowgrave. It's 59, so I could probably board back in the Therapy, but I don't think it's great. As I sorted by color? There we go. Yeah. I don't love keeping in Shelldock Emrakul, but I think with this list, you're just supposed to. It's better than Chromox. Okay. And once again, I am begging for deep analysis. Every time I look at this consider, I just want deep analysis in my deck. Alright, Underground Sea and Thoughtseize. We'll strip away their Thoughtseize, play a Petal, and pass. Delta. I think they're supposed to cycle Street Wraith here, because if they hit Doomsday, they could just go Ritual Doomsday. Or if they cast this Ponder and Keep, they can cycle into 2 cards, which is obviously nice. I clicked out of their Doomsday, that was a mistake. Or their Street Wraith, that was a mistake. But they can draw 2 off it, so they chose not to shuffle. So if they wanted 2, that's the upside of keeping the Street Wraith, but the downside is that you are a little bit slower. I think I'm just jamming Doomsday here. Playing out the diamonds so that way I can pay for a daze. Did you ponder into force? They pondered into days. I think I'm supposed to pay for this. Alright, Doomsday. So I want the Cavern. I want Oracle. Where's Ideas Unbound? Okay. Lotus Petal. Street Wraith. I'm not sure if this is correct or not. But Petal can go on the bottom. Maybe Cavern goes on the bottom. Alright. This way, if my opponent like draws another daze or something, I can get another turn. I'm not just going to deck myself. Okay. Doomsday floating 2 black, you got it. We know that they have Preordain. Oh, they have Street Wraith. They still have Street Wraith in hand. So they could cycle Street Wraith into like a Lotus Petal for Preordain. Or they could just like cycle into Force. I'm actually interested to see how they built their pile here. So they cycle Street Wraith. LED. Okay. You have another cycler? Okay. Well, it's not interesting if they just had double cycler. Alright, I'm dead here. So their Ponder was just the absolute nut. So it was like 3 perfects. And they got me. Alright, so we are now 2-2. Okay, the 5th and final round. Our opponent's taking a quick mulligan. And we've opened up a hand where, once again, we have both Emrakul and Griselbrand. Can't really use those because we don't have any Careful Study type effects. So this hand is essentially a mulligan to 5. I think that we should chip it. Better. This is a turn 1 Griselbrand with Daze backup. We can get rid of the Chromox here. I think we're probably going to want both of these, which is why I'm willing to bottom the Chromox. Alright, well, now that they're on elves, kind of wish I had that Chromox. Are they just... Oh no, they did that in their upkeep. Okay. Sure. Now they're passing. You got a Shepherd. So it's worth noting that Elves is also an Endurance deck now. So this Oracle plan just isn't as good as it used to be. Alright. Dark Ritual. Entomb. Go get our Griselbrand. Goryo's Vengeance. Return the Griselbrand. And a concession. We've gotten game number 1 over Elves. And now we bring in a bunch of Doomsday cards. And now we take out a bunch of Reanimator cards. Okay, Shallow Grave's out. Griselbrand's up next. 4 more cards. What am I missing? I don't know. Children? We don't need Cavern. Honestly, we don't even really want this plan. This is too slow for elves. Oh, Goryo's Vengeance. You think I'd have this down by now? That's 60. Let's try it. Sure. You just want to draw into a Dark Ritual. Going to quickly mulliganing to 5 to 4. Are they looking for Leyline of the Void? There's hard mulling for Endurance. Alright, so they kept 4 cards. What are you leading on? Thoughtseize. I don't like that. They're probably going to take our Doomsday here, and then our hand just like doesn't really do anything. And there goes our Doomsday. I wonder if you're able to do like a partial package. Are you leaving some of this plus the Doomsday stuff? I don't know. Not a Doomsday doctor. Perfect draw, never punished. Let's cast Thoughtseize. Alright, our opponent just decided they had enough. Alright, I'll take a 3-2 with Entombsday, my first time playing this deck. Admittedly, I was not very good at casting the whole Doomsday half. I'm still not great at that, but I've been working on it with normal Doomsday. I really do believe that this deck needs a deep, not even wants, needs a deep analysis in the main deck that you can entomb for. So maybe this Limdol's Vault slot should be deep analysis. That would be my honest recommendation there. I do like the Considers. It's just, it gives Entomb something else. Also, I understand that we're playing Consider, and Consider is honestly pretty good, especially when you're boarding into Doomsday. But I wish there was more ways to getting creatures to the graveyard. Maybe just 4 Entomb is good enough. But also, you could just like up the Thoughtseize count as well, because Thoughtseize protects you from Endurance with these. I'm not sure how to feel. I also don't know if I love the Cabal Therapy, but admittedly, I might not be understanding its full usage, like just because I've never played this deck. So maybe I'm missing like the real functionality of Cabal Therapy. But those are my initial thoughts. This deck was pretty fun to play. I did enjoy it when I wasn't stumbling on my own Doomsdays. Thank you for watching. Keep storming. Have a great day. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.